But the idea that the people who make the robots would destroy the robots, that also I think it also probably creates demand. So you can probably come up with any reason. Well, this robot was having this slight malfunction. We had to put it down, or we had to put that robot down. We need a replacement. So it keeps demand going. Imagine in this possible our future world where robots are licensed and they have these remote shutdowns and all that. It would be as if like Elon Musk had his own security team going around deciding which robots. Okay, this robot needs to be replaced. Okay, because it's unsafe for this reason, that sort of thing. Yeah. Oh yeah, insurance companies will get into it. Yeah. Oh, they're gonna take so much money from us. It's gonna be insane.
I'm gonna be back here with candles and
yeah. So
old books from the 1800s and shotguns at every corner of the house.
So Rocky has an issue with the fact that team is being created. And he kind of hates robots in general, so that's why he's really good at his job. He has zero empathy for him, but also he's jealous of Tima because he's Duke Red's adopted son. He wants to impress Duke Red. He wants Duke Red to love him. You get it.
Yeah.
And so Rocky tries to like destroy Tima, and she like runs away. She doesn't know she's a robot at this point.
Yeah.
And this is when she meets Kenichi. And moving on from that, I'm not going to go through all the different points of that, but eventually what happens is she finds out she's a robot, and it turns out that she is the brain or the key. She's the central component for
she's the CPU.
The CPU of this thing called the Ziggurat, and it's this building that Duke Red is building, and it's pretty much the ivory tower that all the government officials, all the industrialists, all the rich people are going to live in, and then they're just going to forget about the poor people.
And it's a massive weapon.
Yeah, he's going to use it for world domination.
It's basically the Death Star in skyscraper form.
Yeah, and it's and it's just absolutely beautiful, and that is that's one of the parts where you see the CG and stuff, but I think it works great.
Yeah. Everything I don't figure. I haven't not figured out a way to probably stress it any better than I have. That there are a few other animes that are more recent things, I guess, that I would probably rate as maybe more beautifully done than this. Probably some of the Miyazaki stuff is kind of insane, the detail and stuff they go into. But I mean, for the time of this thing, 2001, this thing is so ridiculously beautiful to look at and watch. I mean, literally one of those things you could just turn on, and if you could cut the dialogue out and just have it running with the music, you could just let this thing run all day while you're doing other stuff, and it'd be the perfect like background thing.
As we've been doing a lot of this, and just in general with media, I'm old enough to where I get like age shock from how old things are. And when we were doing this, and I was looking up Metropolis anime. I was like, Metropolis anime 2001. I was like, 2001. Oh my goodness.
This is the year that my oldest child was born.
Right. It's as old as your kid.
And he's not a kid.
Insane. As old as you're an adult.
As old as my offspring that is finishing up his doctorate. So there's a little age on that.
But yeah, it is an absolutely beautiful film. It is, unfortunately, I would say at this point it's a unique art style, and it just drips quality from beginning to end. And in like you said, there are some spotty CGI things going on, but it's fantastic.
Yeah, I guess from the plot point, and you know this better than I do because again you've seen it recently and I have not.
Right.
It's all the way to the end. When she figures out she's a robot, she goes crazy.
Yeah, she has like an identity crisis. Yeah. And at one point she's like, who am I? That's like her whole thing is like, who am I?
Yeah. And she basically tries to get the robots to turn on the people, right?
Yeah, she kind of goes, because there's, once she kind of transcends, once she accepts who she is, because she has the Tima identity, but then she has the identity of like the Ziggurat key, but then she has this identity of like a robot goddess, where she's kind of like a savior to the robots,
Yeah.
sort of. And she goes back and forth between them, and Kenichi's really he's the point the individual that brings her kind of back down to reality,
Yeah.
and makes it so that she doesn't allow this weapon to kill everybody.
Yeah, so she almost destroys everything.
Yeah.
And then
Like everything, the ziggurat and everything.
Kenichi pretty much like, I forget how he gets her out of it.
It's like, hey, we're friends. Be my friend.
And she kind of resets and
Yeah.
becomes more like, does she forget who she is?
Yeah, that's where she kind of forgets who she is.
Yeah.
And then she falls.
Yeah.
There is a scene where it kind of alludes to like, well, maybe her like soul survived, that sort of thing. For future hope, sort of thing.
Yeah. Didn't it say like, it says something like some robots find her parts.
Oh yeah, at the very end, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's one thing like Otomo definitely wanted to do, and everything that he produced is that he wanted to at least have a line paved, or at least started to, if we can get it greenlit, we'll do more material.
I like when stories, there's a couple things really like when stories, I like when stories aren't just happy.
Yeah.
I like a melancholy ending.
Yeah.
I like it when they leave it open, but not like a cliffhanger of, we're going to make another one.
Yeah.
It's just like open enough to where if they wanted to make another one, there's enough strands there that they can pull on to get another plot, some more plot out of it.
Yeah.
But not so much that you feel like I'm being robbed because you're not telling me this other thing that you're teasing.
Yeah, you could come back.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say you could come back and have a story where Tima gets rebuilt and Kenichi. There's a story between those two, or you could have a more dystopian thing where it's like Tima comes back, robot vengeance, Tima uprising kind of movie, or something.
That's some good questions. If she was rebuilt, would she be pro robot or pro human?
Yeah.
I don't think she'd be pro ziggurat. I think that's the only thing that she'd be not for.
That would be the storyline to pursue, is Kenichi trying to keep her human and her having those instincts to try to be pro robot. Little battle back and forth between trying to keep her from reviving and turning against humanity again.
Yeah. But J.J. Abrams' idea of the mystery box, where you're always giving people mysteries that you're not answering, I hate that.
Yeah.
I liked it like when it first started, like Lost. That was great, but Lost ended and it was horrible. Like the ending of Lost was just terrible. And I've been against the idea of the mystery box in the story since then.
If the same concept applies to the trailer, the scene at the end of at the closing part of the credits that gives you the thing for the next movie. If that's a mystery box, then I hate that too. I don't go to a movie to sit through 2 hours just to
watch a 30-minute teaser for the next film.
Everybody's like, oh, I can't wait to go see that movie so I can see the end credit scene. I'm like, what?
There's a whole thing of like, here's all the Marvel end credit scenes that led nowhere.
Yeah.
It's like, it's dumb.
Yeah.
I want to talk about just the characters themselves, mostly just because I love the character designs.
Oh yeah.
They're so iconic, and one of the things that I've heard before is a character, how iconic a character is based on whether or not their silhouette is identifiable. And a couple of the characters, absolutely the silhouettes are identifiable, but yeah, the overall designs are great. We have Kenichi, and I kind of went over the individual people, like their motivations and whatnot, so I won't linger too much on that. But he's just a young boy. He's got like green hair, and he's like forever optimistic. That's pretty much Kenichi. He's there with his uncle, who is his Ban is his name, but his last name, Sonusaku Ban. He's the Japanese detective that comes in to try to figure out this human trafficking and this organ smuggling situation that's going on. And he's actually the first time I ever heard about warm sake. Like, I had heard about sake and hadn't had it, and then he ordered warm sake in the story, and that always intrigued me.
I always know it from Kill Bill.
Well, Kill Bill's after this, so yeah.
That's the first time I ever heard it.
Yeah.
I was like,
that sounds interesting. I've still never like officially had it. The only thing I've done is I've bought sake and I've warmed it up.
Yeah.
I don't know if like I did it right or if it was the right kind of sake. It was like from the grocery store. So it was probably not. It was horrible. Like what I did was probably horrible.
Just an interesting side note with Otomo being the guy who wrote the screenplay.
Mhm.
Kenichi's last name is or surname is Shikishima.
Okay.
That's also the colonel in Akira,
Yeah.
and that's also the professor in Tetsujin 28, whatever that's called. It's interesting how he names those guys on purpose to be
Yeah.
those nods to those earlier projects.
That seems like an Eastern thing. Like in Final Fantasy, there's a character named Sid in like all of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And
I think it's not completely. I don't think there's any coincidence there. I think it's Otomo being like, here's my thank you to the project before that inspired all of this kind of thing. But yeah,
and so Peiro is his partner that gets assigned to him by the superintendent, which so like the government when Ban comes into the city, they're like here's a robot detective to work that you can work with,
yeah.
and he names him Peiro because it's the name of his dog. Okay. And then we have the other three characters I have is Duke Red. Looks like a bird. It's fantastic.
It's
Got
the giant nose.
Yeah, big old nose, and his hair's all spiky in the back. And he founded the Marduk security force. So like the Marduk is his personal security force.
Yeah. It's interesting too with his role in the movie is that he at the very beginning he just says I'm just a businessman,
Right.
but he's there with like the mayor and there's another government official that's there, and there's like press and stuff that are like trying to just talk to him, and he's like, well, you need to talk to these guys. This is the mayor, and this I think there's like a military officer behind him too.
Mm-hmm.
They're asking about like using the police and all that kind of stuff. And he's like, it's not me, but it's like, yeah,
he's pulling the strings.
It's totally me.
Yeah. And then Tima is the daughter that he lost, and also the robot daughter he's building, which I just now kind of equated this to Alita, because kind of Alita with he tries to replace his dead daughter, which is from I think it's just from the movie. I don't think the manga doesn't. It's not his dead daughter. So I would be really interested if Robert Rodriguez or whoever wrote the Alita film, if they were inspired by this.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, me neither. And then Rock. Rock is a great character. He's just cold, and he's not. He doesn't look like he looks like he'd be soft, And
well, it's kind of the whole thing with the whole style of
the
this
style
movie
as well, yeah.
is that you see all these like little kind of squatty characters, and there's some pretty impressive explosions and violence and stuff, and it's not bloody like Akira.
No.
But you see that, and it's like
violent, not gory.
Yeah, you see it, and it's like it just seems weird coming from these like little characters that are like something that would be designed in the 50s. It's an interesting like sort of mesh of those worlds where it's almost sort of like a very early Disney animation, Mickey Mouse early Disney animation, but then like if you imagine what's his name, is it Steamboat Willie getting into like a naval battle and stuff blowing up. That's almost the way this comes off when you watch some of it.
And I do think out of all the characters, I think Rock is the most complex character in the film, because he does seem like a stone cold killer, but his whole motivation is that he wants to be loved by Duke Red.
Yeah.
I mean, he really kind of goes through it, and he is not. I wouldn't even consider him a sympathetic, even though you kind of feel bad for him because he's not loved by Duke Red. He's kind of being used by Duke Red. He was probably groomed by Duke Red to be this stone cold killer. Like he's a victim, but he's not sympathetic. He's an asshole.
There was a whole.
He's a great character. Great character.
There was a whole discussion in our segment on Akira about the absence of fathers in Japan post-war World War II Japan, and how that's kind of a big theme in a lot of their media, and it's I think that's that whole dynamic there. Same screenwriter that made Akira, so it makes sense that the same kind of theme would show up there again.
All right, let's talk about the. There's just two works that it's based off of. We mentioned it before. There's a 1949 manga by Osamu Tezuka, and then the 1927 film of the same name by a German. What's his name? I don't have it here.
Oh,
It's a German film.
yeah.
So I looked up. I haven't read the manga. I haven't watched the film, so I kind of have looked up like what they were about. The film is essentially, unlike the anime, there's not a bunch of humanoid robots walking around.
Fritz Lang.
Fritz Lang, thank you. But the city itself is mechanized, and it's all of the machines that run the city are ran by and maintenance by people who live underground.
Yeah.
And so they're like the poor people. This is a lot more deliberately like about classism and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So in the Metropolis film, there's this woman, and her name is, oh goodness, I had it, Maria. And she kind of brings hope to the workers. And like one of the characters falls in love with her. And so what they do is they build this robot woman who is like the image when you think of the Metropolis film. They build this robot woman that can emulate what Maria looks like, and they're going to use that robot to disparage her name.
Yeah.
As like a demoralization campaign for the workers.
And we talked about that in the last one too.
Yeah.
That's what they did to the Emperor.
Yeah. Wait, this was before that. Like this movie was made before all that.
Yeah, the 27 movie was.
Yeah.
The book itself was written almost immediately after World War II. So.
And like you said, it might be the actual image I got, but yeah, the manga artist Tezuka, like you were saying, is he saw the still image of the robot woman and was like, I'm going to make a story about that.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing if I have any notes about that. Oh, in the manga, one of the biggest differences is Tima is really called Michi. It's a different character, and this robot can like fly and switch genders, which is interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know how that plays into the story or anything like that.
I saw that mentioned in something too, that it was kind of a, whatever you call it.
Yeah, and the
androgynous. That's not the right one, is it?
Yeah, that works.
Somewhere
neither
like
male
that.
or female.
Yeah.
But apparently the story in the manga is a lot more like robots versus humans, where in the anime, the humans were really just kind of forgotten.
Yeah.
Like they were literally just like they're kind of like roaches. They're just there. We got to deal with them sometimes, but it's really the industrialists and the politicians. They're building their city for what they need, and they don't care about people. And apparently the manga is more about robots versus humans in a society where they're trying to fulfill the same roles.
That's part of what he tries to work into in Akira, was that sort of power struggle at the top between the corrupt government and like the military wing.
Yeah, he really likes military versus government.
So I think that was that's another influence that probably came in with him writing the script of that. I would say that's another one of those post World War II themes of they watch the corrupt government lead them into destruction. So it's a thing that was pretty prevalent for everybody that grew up post 1945.
And while I was looking at stuff from Metropolis in the film, I did come on this information that apparently the Fritz Lang's Metropolis, like they didn't have the whole thing for the longest time, and then in Buenos Aires, they found in 2008 like the rest of the film. So it restored like 25 minutes of this footage that had been lost.
Yeah.
So now we do have like the full film, and I'm pretty sure, isn't it like silent too?
It's on Tubi. I think cool. On Tubi it's listed as this is the fully restored version with all of the found footage, or all the found lost footage, whatever the right word is.
I'm definitely interested in watching. I would have liked to have watched it for this discussion, but we've gone on for 43 minutes now, so let's go ahead and wrap this up and talk about Steam Boy.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, definitely get you a copy of Metropolis.
Yeah.
And put it into that category of things that you need to of your homework assignment if you really want to be a appreciator of anime, because
And
I think it's, if I was teaching a class or if you had a series of stuff in any kind of like film school or
oh
something,
yeah,
you'd have to include this. This is
and I would say
it,
Metropolis is good.
it seems like it's forgotten. Like you don't hear
Oh
people
yeah,
mention this the way that you hear mention
no.
Ghost in the Shell or Akira or any of the Miyazaki stuff. And this
I,
came out in 2001. This was
mhm,
the same year as Spirited Away, I'm pretty sure.
yeah.
I think it came out in 2001 as well.
If this were
So
made by Studio Ghibli,
yeah, Miyazaki and Ghibli, or
yeah,
Ghibli, I guess is how
Ghibli.
they say
If
it.
if it were made by Ghibli, I think it would be remembered more.
Yeah,
It's kind of like the Disney films. It's just because it's Disney, people are more they more readily remember it and bring it up and watch it again and show it to people.
yeah.
But this is definitely one of those animes where if someone's not into anime and you want to show them, hey, this is what anime can be and this is what it offers and can offer. Not all anime offers this, Lord no. This is a good one to show them.
And I would say if you're like me, one of those people that lays in bed for 4 hours and can't ever go to sleep,
Right? Put it on.
get a copy of this because
Yeah.
it's an instant. And that sounds bad because it's like it's not. It doesn't put me to sleep because it's boring.
No,
It's just one of those things that
it's soothing.
it calms your mind, and apparently that's what I need when I lay down.
We need more. I don't even think this is a thing. We need more like movies that are like a track that's available in the film that's not dialogue.
Yeah,
It's just like the background music, is the whole OST. Man, that'd be awesome.
everything I've seen that's like that is like artistic, sort of like documentary style things, and
Yeah.
they're always about like climate destruction and
Oh.
like overpopulation, and
Right.
like they're things that you would never fall asleep to because you'd be
Yeah.
sitting there like, wow, this guy really thinks we're we're gonna explode tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah,
All right.
that
Well,
is that. We will come back
Steam Boy.
and get into Steam Boy.